It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And Jim Sarney is here. He wants us to be happy, so we're happy.
Sarney looks good, man. He does.
Sarney looks great.
Last time we saw him, he was getting embalming fluid administered over at Holy Cross. Look at him now, man. He's ready to watch Marlins baseball.
Him loose.
Yeah.
Across the street today at Wicked Cheesesteaks and more at 4826 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard.
Well, one of the great gestures of all time, sorry to interrupt there, but I got to mention this. Sarney ordering pizzas from Wicked Cheesesteaks, going across the street for the beautiful nurses who I believe was holding some kind of, I don't want to say orgies, but there was something going on there where he was happy to be there while I was dying to get out. And the Wicked Cheesesteaks pizzas were a giant hit. I mean, that is a nice gesture.
Pizza
by
orgies.
A very nice man.
This
Jim
is,
Sarney.
first of all, a vision, an image I did not want to think about.
Pizza whores? Is that what you equated these people?
Orgies.
Oh, orgies. Yeah.
Pizza orgies.
No,
sounds like
it's
something
pizza
the royal family of
and
Prince
orgies.
Andrew
There were
would do.
orgies going on in his room, I believe.
It's a very happy day. I mean, we see Jim Sarney, I guess
he
the
looks great,
unofficial
the kid.
mascot
Wow,
and
looks good.
producer emeritus of the Lunchbox.
Yes.
And then if we got the good news that our longtime friend Andy is getting out of the hospital.
He got bail.
He got bailed out. I just spoke to Bonnie, and she says she's watching the show. And greetings to you in North Carolina.
Bonnie.
I raise a diet root beer in your honor. I'm being very, very good these days.
You're trying. You're doing your best.
Yeah, no, you're doing well. I mean, I have to say this, people, and this is no BS. It's not like Mayo's working with some filters here. Lubie not exactly going to clean up the video portion of the show. If you look horrible, you look horrible, but you look good. I mean, it definitely looks like, I would say, what do you say, Jimmy, 10 pounds? From the last time we saw Mayo?
I have not been on a scale because
and that's
one
good.
of the things
that's charging.
I'm just eating sensibly, with the exception of yesterday when you hang out with Burger Beast.
Though. You actually
Burger Beast is an automatic pass.
It's like an exemption.
I thought he had lost some weight, though. It was a very flattering shot that Lubie had of the Burger Beast, no? What do you say,
He sat
Lubie?
at an interesting angle, so maybe it hid. Look, he looked like the Burger
I'm looking
Beast.
at the guy. He looked like half
him.
the beast, but
I love the guy, so I'm
you're
not
saying
gonna...
that's not the
Look,
case.
Val and some friends
This
were
could
there.
get you right back in the jackpot.
Talking about last night's great opener of the 954 Burger Month at Lauderdale, a place that Burger Beast had never been to, but we did the show. We had some great burgers and donuts, and Val and some of my other friends were there, and Val just said that Burger Beast, he's a big fella.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, then I really, my vision must be going.
but again, you can't, you don't wear the label of Burger Beast without, some
You
certain.
could be a thin guy. Look at Bourdain, man. He ate at a lot of places. He wasn't overweight.
Yeah, no, and you look at David Portnoy, the pizza guy, but he's obviously, I guess, somewhat adheres to one bite. Although he does eat a lot.
No,
of
he
full
eats the
slices.
whole pie. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
every time he does that. One bite, you know the rules, and then he eats the whole
He
pizza.
stays a little bit on the, I guess, the svelter side. He's got a little pot belly too. But Beast is talking about. It seems like Beast is one of those guys that needs to always be like feuding with somebody.
He likes to start stuff.
Does he
Beef.
have no?
The
But
man
you
likes
guys
beef.
buried the hatchet.
What could you say? He likes beef.
He just
and he
likes
likes
starting
beef.
stuff. Yeah.
So
Who's he have a beef with, Louis?
Well, no, chiming in on the chat line during last night's show was our friend Jeffrey of Jeffrey Eats.
That guy's great. Does he know burgers? I mean,
And
please.
he was just a little miffed because Burger
He
Beast
actually wasn't miffed.
has
He
never
was...
has never eaten a burger at his truck. Seth has been around Jeffrey and his truck and been at certain events with him, but for whatever reason did not have his burger. Instead, had like mac and cheese.
You would think it would be a must, though, that he tries the burger there.
You would think so too.
Yeah.
And apparently,
in general, do people consider Jeffrey Eats to be? I mean, they would have to be included among the best, most innovative burgers
when
that you could get. When they
They're great.
started throwing peanut butter and jelly on a thing, and it was good. And
Well,
then
that's the
what
thing.
was that thing
The
you
onion
had? You
soup
had the
burger.
challenge burger. Yeah,
The onion soup burger, which
Yeah.
you put on the permanent menu, where it's
but
like
it's delicious.
Gruyere cheese and
Yeah.
onions, and then he has a whole bowl of like beef onion consomme that you dunk the whole thing in. Fantastic.
No, he
burger.
does a great job.
And you know me, I'm usually a burger purist. I like
Me
just
too.
a plain
Yeah.
cheeseburger. Jeffrey, his name is Jeffrey, does some things to the extreme, which, believe it or not, Beast is not a fan of like those like
That's okay.
extreme
All
burgers
the
with all
stuff
the
on it,
different
yeah.
things on it. But
I'm
I'm
more of a
saying-
simple guy with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeffrey is trying to get him up there at some point, and I say maybe we're the
Yeah, I think
Henry
we should just get it together.
Kissingers.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
I'll make
the
the piece.
ones
Yeah.
to
we'll
make
do a show and have both of them out
to
there.
get them both out there and have him finally try.
So it got
his
a little
basic-
antagonistic between
Nah,
the two.
I mean,
No,
it's all good.
Jeffrey was just lauding Burger Beast with praise, and he said he can't wait to meet him. And
Yeah,
we, and
You
we
have to
took
be
that and
a
made fun
fan of the
Beast.
Burger Beast because he's an advocate for hamburgers. I mean,
Oh, no.
you know, I mean, he's like Wimpy, for God's sake. This guy,
He
he's
is.
unbelievable. I'd rather, gladly pay a Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Yes.
Honestly,
How many of
Well-
your friends are in that same category, Mayo?
Well, it depends on how the Derby breaks. I am definitely in that position.
We have to nail
need a
this.
big
You have your
score.
theories. I think
You're
you
doing
wrote
like
some
a whole
stuff
For the
thing.
down.
sake
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
me and my Amex business card, I need to turn a little into a lot on Derby.
You're
Saturday.
capable, though, Mayo. I mean, what's your track record on the Derby? Good. I mean, in general,
Last year I hit it, and it
Oh,
was a
good.
great day. I
Mage
actually
was a good play.
remember last year. For some reason, I had a table at Christine Lee's, and Nikki Mohan
because
was
you
there.
schnored the table.
Nikki Mohan was there.
You
I
snorted
did
it. I
go
remember
and
you
the whole
snorted it.
thing.
My buddy Will, Willie, the poker player,
Yeah,
was
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And at one table over, we had the Grandpa's crew, Mark Goldberg and Mark Freed, and a whole bevy of their friends were around. They're going to be there at Christine Lee's again on Saturday.
Degenerate bagel makers. You got to love that.
Oh,
I know they're
yeah.
the best.
Oh yeah, I gotta give it a show. I went in. I popped into Grandpa's yesterday. We're setting up. We're going to be doing another one of those breakfast edition shows next week. But Freed was telling me how he just sometimes futzes around at home. He played around the golf on Tuesday and then was on the couch and he said, "Oh, I hit this exacta by playing a favorite with a long shot and it came back 120
Ooh,
bucks."
sweet.
And I was like, number one. Who's playing anything on a Tuesday? I said, "What track was that?"
Parks,
And he's-
Thistledown.
Yeah, he was like, I don't even know. I was like,
All
you
my
really
favorites,
are
yeah.
lunchbox material because
Stone
he's a
degenerate,
total
yeah.
degenerate.
You know, it's funny. You could be killing it like they are in the restaurant business, making all the money in the world, and you're happier about the 120 you wanted
Yep.
to
Yeah.
crack
100%.
than you
That's-
are about the 120,000 you made last week. You know, I mean,
That's
it's
the
amazing,
beauty of, because it's like puzzle solving. When you hit a horse race, either by luck or actually pouring through a form, you feel like you've accomplished something.
Even if you pour through the form, it doesn't matter. I mean, however you came to the right answer, it's kind of like doing calculus, right? Where I used to know a shortcut to the right answer could not do any of the work.
Right.
And the professors were amazed. I had the right answer to
Yeah, if
every
you just
question.
Look over.
But they would only give me
to the-
no. I actually there was a trick formula for answering calculus problems that I knew that was in I mean it was always correct. So I used to use it, but then they would say, "Well, you must show all
Show
work." It's
work,
like,
I
well, why
hate
do I have to show the work? I'm a genius. I know this thing without even delving into the work. What
You
do
know what
I
I
like
remember?
Rene Descartes?
What I remember about my calculus class, besides being taught by this,
How many
total-
times have you used it since, though? That's
I never even did
Never.
calculus.
Never,
I never
yeah.
got past college
So
algebra.
I went to the
Or regular
specialized
algebra
high
too.
school, public school in Manhattan called
And you're smart, too, I mean.
Stuyvesant High. It
Yeah.
specialized math and science. Calculus was taught by this like evil genius. His name was Mr. Fisher. A guy with like the glasses and
Giant
the crazy
bushy eyebrows.
Einstein
Yeah.
hair.
Dandruff
And-
in his eyebrows.
Yes,
That was
dandruff in his
always- oh, my God.
eyebrows,
Yeah,
some
that's-
BO.
yeah.
Pants that he hasn't, bought a new pair of pants in like decades since the 1950s.
But that person's
and
never going to teach you
brown
because it's like
Sansabelt.
Jordan or
Yeah.
Kobe teaching because they were so good at what they do that they can't teach you because they're like geniuses.
They're brilliant, and but the guy would just scream and yell if you didn't know the answer.
Yeah.
But the thing I remember is like somehow I made it through and passed his class. And number two, another guy in the class named Jimmy Vlahos, me and him talk about stone cold degenerates. We'd go off to the OTB parlor on 14th Street
That
near
is
Union
low.
Square
Yeah, when you're
during
getting the
lunch
C,
hour.
the CD exacta.
We would go into the OTB parlors because he was a horse player, and we basically loved going off and trying to play and hit the early double at the OTB on 14th
Nothing
Street.
like it.
And talk about, that sometimes was harder than
The early
calculus.
double might have been the only double. I mean, back then. Remember that? Well, you're a younger man than me. I have to remember that. But
I think it might have been, and it was always blazoned on.
then they had a
the
late
New York
double that was
Post.
like, whoa, a late double. Wow.
The New York Post, which printed in the afternoon, and when it would hit the streets at about 4 o'clock, it would always have the early double
Post
on
was
the
an afternoon
back
paper.
page.
Wow.
And it was always Beetle Bailey sweeps the early double. We would just play.
I just love
Jerry Bailey.
The two of you are different generations, and
Jerry
it's the same
Bailey.
stories.
I set
Defo's-
up Jerry Bailey on his first date with a woman that I don't know if he married her, but I did have some involvement with Jerry Bailey's romantic life. believe it or not.
That's hard to
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
Is he still talking
Defo
to
the
you?
matchmaker.
No, Bailey and I are
You're
I mean,
tight?
I wouldn't say we're close, but I mean, if I saw him,
We've had him on.
he would remember. Yeah,
had him on
no,
shows.
he's a
He's
good guy,
cool.
man.
I'd
He
love
was
to get
always
him on the
great.
show.
He's
He
great.
lives
He was
locally
an
out in-
apprentice at Calder when I was doing the racing report from Calder. So,
Nice.
yeah, and then he went on. Obviously,
He's a sharp
to
cookie,
great
too.
heights.
He's
No,
one of
he's
the-
no fool.
He's
Yeah.
one of those jocks. Sometimes they said that, whatever, that he had, besides a clock in the head that worked, because a lot of them,
That was the shoe, man. Bill Shoemaker, man, had the clock in his head.
but he also he would read and pour over the form and always figure out the best
Who's your
way
pick,
to.
man? Did you get
Well,
to
we're
it?
early. We're not at Gulfstream.
We have tomorrow. We
have tomorrow.
all day tomorrow.
We're gonna have
kill
tomorrow.
it.
We got to wait till tomorrow, Sonny, to get his pick
Tomorrow
on the Derby.
is Oaks Day,
Yes.
and we're going to be at Gulfstream Park for our usual 10 Palms edition
Oh,
on
wow.
Friday. It's Kentucky Oaks Friday, Kentucky Derby Saturday, full field of 20 going in the Kentucky Derby. Now,
Wow.
you have to readjust all your permutations because the scratch of the number 9 horse
Doesn't bother me.
means the 21 gets in. It also means all the other horses move over a
one,
gate.
yeah. Well,
So when you say the 17 has never won the Derby,
that's
the
what
versus
about the
the jinx.
16?
Yeah, well, I mean, probably a small percentage have come out of the 16 hole.
I remember one.
But you know what?
Gato del Sol.
Okay, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah,
Polyman was talking about Gato del Sol.
Polyman special many years ago. We have the word from the king of the futures here. We actually tapped into a guy that, I mean, he's been uncanny. Lubie left the Derby is one time there with so much money he didn't know what to do with himself.
Yeah, I think
When
I put 20
Animal
down and won
Kingdom
like 300 or
scored at
400.
20-1. And it was funny too because all the other guys in the media, all these Sharpies, Bayer, and all of the big handicappers are there, and there's Lubie going, "I got it! He's in the freaking press box.
Was that a wet day? Was it a wet track?
No,
Animal
the
Kingdom
weather I
was
think
dry.
was spectacular when
Because
we were there.
what's the weather? Is it maybe going to be wet and sloppy on Saturday?
The 90% chance of rain tomorrow for the
Okay.
Oaks, and then an equally high number.
That
I think
favors
coming
a
on
horse
Saturday,
like
yeah.
Mystic Dan, and
It
that's
really ruins a good time, though. I mean, it's unfortunate if the weather is bad because no matter how spectacular the event is, and it's still going to be great, if you're there in a rank, dank rain, it's not a lot of fun to be.
no.
at
That
Churchill
was the
Downs, yeah.
one time I went to the Derby as a spectator. Jeff Defo DeForest, 1989.
Oh yeah,
I actually was working as a Cub sports reporter in Spartanburg, but I didn't go as a reporter. Me and a group of fellow degenerates from that newspaper made the drive through the Smoky Mountains into Louisville, and we got infield seats, and it was the day that it was 45 degrees and miserable raining.
wow, that was
and
the
it
the
was
weather's
the-
always cool.
and it was
yeah.
the duel
it's no
between
fun being there. I mean,
Easy
Easy
It's raining, it
Goer
sucks.
and Sunday Silence, and
Silence?
Sunday
Nice.
Silence smoked the East Coast hopeful Shug McGahee's Easy Goer.
How about that race at Gulfstream? Man?
And
That was great.
Yeah, well, that was in the Breeders' Cup at the
Yeah.
end of the year,
In
and
the dark.
but anyway, I just remember being miserable and muddy, and couldn't even enjoy a beer. It was just like
No,
so,
it's not pleasant. I mean, even if you're in the stands and have a seat, it's just not pleasant on
But-
a really bad ranked day.
But this Saturday, I don't give a crap because I'll be
we
high
don't
and
care.
dry
Yeah,
at
we're making money.
Christine Lee's, and I'll just be doing the mud numbers, the Tomlinson mud numbers. His motto was a
Do
mud.
you, do you
And-
have any luck with that or no?
Yeah, well, anyway, if it is a sloppy track, Mystic Dan is the wise guy slop horse play, and that's trained by Kenny McPeak, and my friend who is thankfully recovering from a whole series of medical issues is Kenny McPeak's assistant trainer in New York.
Mm.
But I got to get the 411 on the McPeak runners in both.
You've had
the
some
Oaks
decent
and the
inside
Derby.
information. I
Yeah.
will give you that. I mean, especially out of Monmouth Park, those
Yeah.
Jersey connections were good for you.
That was good. We got some good 12
No, I
to
mean,
1, 15 to
not
1
everyone
shots.
was on the money, but very good percentage.
Yeah, when you're getting 15 to 1 shots, all you need to hit is 1 out of every 15, and
Yeah.
you're okay.
There you go.
We're gonna go heavy on the Derby and the Oaks tomorrow.
We're getting Caton. Lubie was trying to smart
I
Caton for the
don't
show.
think
I
she
didn't hear-
is so tied up with her TV duties on.
She told me she
FanDuel
couldn't
this
do
week.
this time slot, and then I didn't hear back from her when I asked her about the mornings.
So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be able to get her on like in one of those like Preakness
one of the
weeks
Preakness
or
or
a down
Belmont.
week. We'll do a wrap up with our good friend Caton Bradar.
Does she
racing
know her
analyst.
stuff or what, man? She's
good.
so impressive. I mean, you're in the media business. When you hear somebody that they really know their stuff, it's so much fun to
And the
listen
thing
to.
with her is, with me, it's like, is it fear or is it respect? With her, it's total respect.
Yeah,
Everybody
she's great.
respects her.
Brilliant,
She's
man.
great.
And
No,
there's
great.
no more brilliant assessor of like horse flesh in the paddock, and just by going off how
She's
they
a horse
look.
whisperer.
Yeah,
She talks to these animals. man.
that's it. This
She
is what
sits
we
there and
need.
goes, "You running today?" And the guy goes, "Like Mr. Ed." Yes. It's
I just
amazing,
need
man.
a
And she
couple
won't
of-
reveal that. She won't let that go. That information.
I will have to text her and hopefully get a couple of 10-to-1 live ones, because I need to parlay $600 into $6,000. You think that's a attainable goal?
I thought your finances were coming around now. That
Well, the things
you
are coming
cleared out
around, but
some
there's things that are still a little bit behind. But
All right.
we're getting there. We're
All
getting
right,
there.
all right.
But hey, let's take our first break, and hopefully we'll get Brian in, because I know he's got some special treats for us, including something that he's very proud of. Something
What's
as
with
a-
these baskets or something he's
maniac.
making? Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to talk about it. I think for the summertime, he wants to do these summer seafood boxes, something that you would see in a lot of the places in Maine where he is from originally. But these,
Have you rolled through
clam
there? I would
cakes?
imagine you have.
What's
Rolled
that?
through Maine.
of course,
Yeah.
numerous times. I love it up there.
The lobster rolls on
it-
the sidewalk.
In
I
my
mean,
perfect world, I would be able to summer up in Maine, like just spend July and August.
you
in
and
Maine.
Segreto.
I think Paul Casanova has that summer.
Oh yeah,
pad
yeah,
up
he
in
does
Maine.
that too. Yeah.
Segreto is in Vermont.
Yes.
Castanova's
If only
in
you own a
Maine.
piece of taco crab, you and Castronova would be very much the same.
But we'll be back talking with Brian at Wicked Cheesesteaks. But first, here's the big news.
What do you
Nobody
got?
could see this.
Oh, Twin
but this
Lobster
is,
coming back.
I was in
It's back.
Tropical Acres yesterday. No,
back,
it
son.
starts the day after Mother's Day. This is a tradition now. Okay, now we've got the end of stone crab season. That ended yesterday. A couple more days where you'll be able to find the stone crabs on the menu until this lot disappears. But that's okay, because starting Monday, May 13th, the Twin Maine Lobster Special is back at Tropical Acres. And here's the big news. And I mean, this astounded me, because I was guessing the other week that based on current prices and what I've heard at other
Oh, yeah, I
places,
was going to get juice.
that it was going to be
Yeah.
2 for $42 or 2 for
Still would be a
$40,
bargain.
because
Wow.
even at Kelly's Landing, they're doing twin lobsters for $40. But no, it says right here on the flyer, too good to be true. Same price as last year, and that means
Get outta here.
2 lobsters for $39.
That's amazing.
It's got to
Monday
be the
through
best
Friday.
deal on that anywhere.
Monday through Friday, while supplies last.
Wow.
Again, starting Monday, May 13th, the day after Mother's Day, all summer long. Twin Maine Lobsters.
I love that.
You can't do better than going into, get this, for like the all-time value meal, Defo. You go in on a Monday night when it's half price.
That
wine
comes
night.
with stuff too.
You go in there
Yes.
at about, let's say, 5 o'clock to the bar when it's happy hour, 4:30 to 6:30.
Yep.
You get yourself a Belvedere martini for $8. You get yourself a little coconut shrimp for like $7. You start off with that. Then you go into the main dining room, you and let's say a dining companion, and you get a prime rib and a twin lobster special
You just
and
set
a
the
half
turf.
price bottle of wine,
Yep.
and you're out of there for under $100. It's
Probably. It's
ridiculous,
unbelievable.
I know.
Yeah, probably.
The value there, the quality. They just celebrated their 75th anniversary. And again, Mother's Day, Sunday, the 12th of May, they are open 1 to 8 p.m. And there is plenty of availability
Nice.
still on the books. Some of the slots are filling up, especially for larger parties at 5:30 and 6. That's no longer available. But the rest of the day, again, smaller parties all day long, 2 tops, 4 tops. And if you're coming in with a bigger group, the whole family, get in on the books now. Call them at 954-989-2500. We love Tropical Acres, and tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we're coming back with more. We get cheesesteaks, man. Getting a lot of favorable reviews. Very happy about that. We were talking about this morning when we were
How
talking
could
about
you
the
not?
show.
How could you
Well,
not
I
like
mean,
the
2
place?
guys that we really root for, I mean, are getting some really, really positive feedback on Let's Eat South Florida. Tom Panazzini, who we talk about all the time. killing it over there with his new location at Phil's. So that's great. And then Brian over here, I mean, the comment is always the same. Like whenever you have a thread about Wicked Cheesesteaks, was there, couldn't believe it. People gave me the recommendation on Let's Eat. And then they always have to include, which is good. Hey, the owner's a dynamite guy.
Yep.
And that's really nice to see because we know that Brian's here and, they're in some inherent difficulties in this business period. But also good to see Sarni must have initiated this. That the number of nurses and hospital help that's coming over from Holy Cross,
yes,
I
with
think
the doctor
largely
here.
sparked by Jim Sarni's month-long residency over there. and to come out looking like this, I think it's good. So Wicked Cheesesteaks, great place to be. Can't wait to start dining here, and it's going to be great. I'm back with more Mike Mayo's Lunchbox in a moment.
Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo the Lunchbox sent you. One of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. Are you looking for a good New York-style slice? How about lunch specials for under $9 that come with garlic rolls and a fountain drink? I'm talking about Stromboli Pizza Kitchen in the Fountains of Plantation, 801 South University Drive. Since 1987, it's been home to Brooklyn-style pies and slices, heroes and paninis, pastas, and all your Italian-American favorites. It's got the unpretentious vibe of the pizza places of my youth with daily specials, family dinners, outdoor seating, eat-in, carry-out, or delivery. Open 7 days a week. Go to strombolispizza.com to place your order today. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. I got to chew on just one side of my mouth.
Yeah, what's the
Lubie
story
just
there?
dripped all over my show sheet here.
I didn't even touch on.
No,
You don't
he
need
dripped.
that.
He dripped.
You don't
He
need
dripped.
those.
The man dripped. But that's
Do you ever
okay.
actually consult these notes during the course of the show?
I do.
Yeah,
Quite
okay.
often.
All right.
And excuse me while I keep chewing again.
These wings are phenomenal. They're just the way I like them. I don't know what he did to them, but they're great.
Standard
The wings here
medium
are
buffalo.
you wouldn't think. I guess a place that features pizza, you would think wings are going to be good. But
Does
wow.
he fry them? Does he bake them? Does he do both to them? I gotta find
He
out.
did
his
something
technique.
like-
He
I
got a
used to-
little bit busy, so I guess we're.
I used to like the wings at Tark's Clams back in the day. I don't know. Do you remember Tark's Clams? And they did wings a certain way. There was a place.
Okay. I don't want to denigrate anybody.
You don't like
it's
Tark's
in
Clams?
my neighborhood again, right across the street from our friend Pat Utter at Shenanigans. I much prefer the wings at Shenanigans. That's why they're Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Tark's, the
You don't like the way they did them?
fryers
Yeah.
baskets there, and again, it's under new ownership, and I haven't been in there.
This
and I
was
wish
back
them well.
in the day, though. a
They
long time
still
ago.
pack them in. There used to be multiple locations. Now Tark's is just down to the one location on Federal Highway in Dania Beach.
Right. No good.
I think the batch of oil that they use for the wings, it's one of those like things like you know how in Modena, Italy, they pride themselves on having the same starter batch of balsamic vinegar since 1600. I think the grease might be the same way.
You think
But
if
again-
Michelangelo took a snippet of stuff? I mean, is
don't
that
know.
what you're saying?
And I don't want to dinner. Look, they do again. They pack the house a lot. They have a good clam night on Wednesday nights. They do 90.
When I first started eating wings, though, I remember stopping at that place. It was on the one in. There was one like more in Miami.
Yeah,
like,
they had
area.
several locations.
Yeah. I used to go there, and I thought their wings were really, really good. I liked the way they did them, but and this is sort of similar. It reminded me of that.
Look, for a place
Yeah.
that calls itself Wicked Cheesesteaks, the fact that the pizza and the wings are at this level is one of the many reasons we love Brian.
Well, I think if you
Like I have no meat left on this, and I'm still dipping it in the blue
if you look
cheese.
online, I think the official name is Wicked Cheesesteaks, Wings, Pizza, and more. So there's a
Which it
lot
should be,
more here.
honestly.
And again, the Wicked stands for his main roots because up in New England they say he's wicked smart, he's wicked good. We're hoping the horses that we've been on Saturday are wicked fast. But you know, the man is
That was right out of
is-
Goodwill Hunting. He's
Thank
wicked
you.
smart.
Wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
How do you like them there
Yeah.
apples, Johnny?
Great
but
movie, by the way. Great movie.
It was good. It's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but Brian is now, I guess he got slammed with the lunch rush, so he'll be on later, but he
We'll
is
drink it
going to be debuting this newest creation, which is the clam cakes. Have you ever heard of or
Clam
eaten a
cakes.
clam cake?
You know, I want to say maybe at some time I must have had one, but I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I've heard it because I
specifically.
know it's a big New England thing. I don't think I've ever had it.
Crab cakes, obviously, everybody heard of
But
because
clam cake
in
is too,
Maryland,
right?
but
Yeah.
clam cakes are a thing.
like a New England
He
thing.
says in Maine, but I think I've seen them in Rhode Island too.
Yeah, I think it's like that
So it's a kind of a
Vermont.
Friday summer seafood tradition where sometimes you get these clam cakes, you get like these to-go boxes where they, you know, you carry out from these little shacks and roadside lobster shacks, and sometimes you get fried scallops and clams, and then you get the clam cake. He's thinking about doing that for the summer, and I encourage it because there's, you know me, I can never get enough good seafood,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
especially when people are bringing their own backgrounds and histories involved.
Yeah,
So I'm
special
sure it's
things.
going to be great. Meanwhile, the wings are very good.
You like them? I mean, what's
Yeah,
your-
no, again, it doesn't have that deep fried coating. It seems like more of a slightly fried,
just the way you
lightly
did it. I
fried,
mean, a lot
and,
of flavor, a lot
and
of
maybe
flavor.
baked.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
you're double dipping your bones. So
I'm
I
dipping
can no-
bones into blue cheese.
I can no
There's-
longer
that
partake of that blue
Is free
cheese.
to be
No,
used.
no, you're
I
done
did,
now.
I did
Is
a
that
single,
the ranch?
That one's yours.
No,
man.
And
blue
this one
cheese,
I
there's two blue
haven't put my
cheeses,
mouth on it.
And I
No,
did
I
one
think
single
this is
dip.
a ranch.
Yeah, I
It's
claim
pretty
this
thick
one, man.
for a ranch. I think it's blue
So
Nice
Mayo
blue
show
cheese.
standard. Yeah,
Yeah, it's blue
It's
cheese.
blue cheese, and it's very
He makes
good.
his own blue cheese here. I think he makes his own ranch.
that's
good.
great, man.
All right, let's get into some topics for the du jour. The Sun Sentinel. You know, we've been talking a lot about donuts lately. We ate
Yes.
some donuts yesterday.
They
with
were
this
really good. I really enjoyed them. The actual donut itself is really good. Lucha Dough. It's a small
Lucha Dough.
vendor who does it himself.
Luchito.
Luchador is
Lucha
like
Libre.
a Spanish a word on the Spanish word for wrestler, as I
Yes.
knew. I just knew it all along.
Luchador.
Lucha Libre.
Luchador.
Yeah.
But Luchado is the spinoff that was this young, enterprising young donut
name's
maker,
Chris.
Chris, I remember.
Okay.
And but again, he hasn't been around long enough and not
No,
selling.
I mean, it
in
doesn't
high-
have a storefront.
He doesn't
either, right?
have a brick and mortar. But the Sun Sentinel, again, we enjoyed the donuts yesterday. He had some very creative ones, including a brown butter bacon one that was sinfully good.
Fantastic.
He had like a spinoff on a cannoli. It was a
Pistachio with
pistachio-
ricotta inside.
yes. Thank you for saving me. Ricotta stuffing inside.
How about Luby's knowing more about the
Well, 'cause
details?
I
of
got
these
to bring
He's
it
foods?
home.
become the food.
I got to
expert.
bring it home.
amazing?
My wife loved them, so
Yeah,
I
that was
made,
good stuff.
Made note.
But the other good stuff was the Sun Sentinel did in their series of best foods in South Florida.
Yeah.
They actually got the finalists right for
Yep.
once.
Yep.
Not to knock my former
Okay.
employers.
Yeah.
We love the Sun Sentinel, but they were a little bit off in terms of the previous ones.
Well,
with the
I don't
fried
think they did
chicken and
enough
the-
research. It feels
But
like. This one they nailed it.
because the 5 finalists were all worthy. It was our friend Keith at Bake Shack in Dania, Max Santiago at his Maxed Out Donuts in North Miami. Then we had Hollywood Donut Factory, Mojo Donuts, which is Burger Beast's friends, and they have multiple locations. And finally, last but not least, Dandy Donuts.
Did
And
they win it?
they did announce the results this morning.
Oh, yeah.
It was by vote, and Dandy was the winner.
Oh, good.
Do
yeah.
any of the other ones have multiple locations? Because that was your sort of contention. It
Look at
actually
this
makes
guy.
a lot of sense.
Mojo Donuts has multiple locations. The others do not. Well, Hollywood might have 2, one on Los Olas, one in Hollywood. Here we go, Brian. Let's get Brian.
you got some kind of a
he's
pizza
coming back
back
in a
there.
minute.
He's
Coming
going to
back.
bring
He
the
did a
cheese with
cheesesteak
because
pizza.
remember I like the cheese with it. So.
But anyway, Dandy has multiple locations, and I think there's one near you, right, on the Atlantic.
That
and
must be the
Pompano.
original.
They're
I
all
think.
over Broward. Yeah.
They're in Margate.
It's Atlantic, right near
They
Federal.
have a pretty good donut. It's a
Great
yeasty,
donuts, no doubt.
very kind of like a thicker, I guess,
Yes,
definitely.
it's a little bit
It's a
more
thicker
dense.
and yeastier.
Yeah.
But again, it obviously has legions of fans, and they've been
Yeah.
doing it for a long time.
Open
so,
24 hours. They do a nice job. I mean, with breakfast and things like that.
So congrats to them.
You know what they have that's unusually good that you would never expect at Dandy Donuts?
Breakfast
Is
sandwiches.
their split pea soup.
That I would never
Their
figure.
split pea soup
Yeah, they have
is
food.
definitely
They
worthy.
do good breakfast
Yeah.
food too. They
You're
do
really acting your age
interesting
now.
breakfast.
If you're like raving about the split pea
No,
soup
they're, like,
at a
known
donut
for
shop.
it.
I know
They're
you don't
known-
like split pea, and you're going to go into your insufferable
They're known
mode, but,
for weird.
but the truth
different
is,
stuff.
people that like split pea soup, it's hard to find like a really, really good one.
They do like a
they
pork
had a good one.
roll. Like,
Yeah.
they're known
I
for,
happen
like,
to like split pea
they're
soup.
known for different
I,
stuff.
I gather that. Do you know what else? What else they have that always gets a lot of attention on Let's Eat is the Taylor ham, and that they put that on their breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Luby seems intent
No,
on
you're
getting
gonna
all
have to have a
this
piece of this pizza.
wing
I
sauce
didn't want
all
it to show
over
on the
man.
camera.
my
You never
notes,
want
all
the
over
wings.
my
Give me
nap.
the
You're gonna
wings.
need a
Here,
knife
here's
to
what
dig
we're
that
gonna
out,
do.
yeah.
We're gonna
Just
rip off the
give
top.
me the wings.
No. We're gonna rip off the
You're,
top.
like, really weird
We're
about
gonna
this.
just like toss it off to the side.
You're like
and
weird about the
that's
wings.
it.
Was he like this at the paper,
Yeah, you're, like,
Sonny? Was he
weirding
like
out about
this?
the
No,
wings.
because he starts moving things, and it's like I see it creeping ever closer
Put
to
it
my
here.
lap.
I don't
Don't
care
worry
where it
about
is. I
it.
just
No,
want it
show
on
Oh,
the
we got to
screen.
keep this space open for the clam cakes
That's
and all
true.
the other things, and I'm going to
Try,
stay
try
away.
a slice
No,
of
the-
that pizza.
the-
You're
the-
gonna try a slice.
No, I am. You know me. I am. Look
You're
at
on
me.
all new.
You
Yeah.
I will
marked them
definitely
on the
eat a
new
slice.
No,
Mike
you're
Mayo.
yours fell.
I will take one bite of this.
I
This
mean,
looks
come
like
on,
a
you gotta do it
cheesesteak
right.
with
You gotta go
mushroom and
Fortnite.
onion.
Yeah.
This is the bite that is speaking to the.
I
slice.
think
Mushroom.
Sonny is screaming for a
Speaking
bite.
to
here.
me.
Come on.
Cheesesteak. So it's
It's
the meat,
a little-
with mushroom, onion, and provolone and mozzarella.
You know, we're still at the stage where it needs to set a little bit because
It
it's so fresh
a
out of the
minute.
oven.
It needs a minute. Yeah.
So it needs a minute for the cheese to kind of cool off a little bit, congeal. So
can
you
we
could,
do it? No.
if you pull it off, it's
Well,
gonna
no,
just
we need
slide
to-
Slide
right
into
right.
the
off.
sliding.
We
And
need
you're gonna burn
a
your mouth.
utensil. We need a utensil.
All right,
I was
so-
going to feed that to Sarni so that he burnt his mouth, and then I could slice my half of it.
Then he has to go back in for another
Exactly. He
residency.
More
just got out
stents,
of
more this, more
residency.
that.
He's like Britney Spears in Vegas. He's doing residencies at local hospitals.
didn't
Him
want
and
him to-
Andy.
They didn't want him to leave. Yeah, no.
It's like Siegfried and Roy. They-
He's
He
just
did. He
there.
took up a residence
He's
there.
like,
man. It was
here is Jim
unbelievable.
Sarney.
Timeshare
Jim
in
Sarney at
hell.
Holy Cross. Andy Peters at West Side Memorial, or whatever they call it, West Side Regional. Yes.
That's funny.
Anyway, we're happy that
Yeah,
it was,
it's funny too when you get the hospital bill and it just says rent.
Yeah, it's a monthly.
It's like
well,
28,000 for the month or whatever.
Speaking
it
of
is.
hospital bills, I mean, you guys obviously you're in the promised land of Medicare once you go over 65.
A lot better than the alternative. That's
I
for
am
sure.
not,
Yeah.
so I do have to mind my health for at least another 7 years.
Oh,
And
geez, you got a long way.
speaking of 65, I do want to wish happy birthday in heaven to my oldest brother David, who would have turned
Oh,
65
Live
today.
after.
David, I miss you dearly. He passed in 2009 on his 50th birthday, so I can't believe it's been 15 years. But one of the reasons I sign off every day with "Enjoy Every Sandwich," which was a Warren Zevon line when he knew that
People like the level of sophistication you're showing with that.
Yeah.
You know, most people think, hey, what is this stupid line, enjoy every sandwich? But the history behind
there's
it
a meaning.
more than justifies it. Yeah.
Warren Zevon, in his final televised interview on David Letterman's show, when David Letterman asked, have you found any kind of like You know,
Solace, peace.
what's your, you know, philosophy, or, you know, what's the meaning of life? And he was just saying, enjoy every sandwich.
It makes some sense. Yeah.
And that's it, because you never know what's going to happen in the next day or the next week.
True.
Live for every moment, enjoy every
Listen
sandwich.
to you, the whole new Mike Mayo.
Well,
This
no,
was
and-
a bitter
and-
guy. He
and
was
my
face
brother-
down in the gutter.
My brother David had a kind of a tough life, but I never saw so much joy as when he would have a corned beef sandwich from the Mill Basin Deli, and he would just eat it with such gusto and relish. And that's the happy memory I have.
Do you remember your
David.
first corned beef sandwich? Or was it like your first beer?
My
Or
first
your
corned
first
beef
girl?
sandwich?
Or, I mean,
I've always been a pastrami guy because I like it on the little bit spicy.
I
Spicy.
like them
The
both.
kick.
I became a corned beef fan after a while.
Yeah, so my first both corned beef and pastrami sandwich was at my local. It's called the Mill Basin Avenue T Deli,
Avenue T.
kosher
Nice.
style, near my home in Mill Basin. It is still there. And, you know, my dad had his dental practice just down the block. He'd be in there for lunch like 3 times a week. You know, I was in there with my daughter earlier this year when we
How
did
thick
our
was this thing?
Brooklyn Pilgrims. Oh, they had the beautiful
Oh.
double-decker sandwiches and stuff.
Nice.
But it was nice because one of the owners, managers, basically recognized me because I looked like my
Back
dad.
then?
No, from now today in
Oh, from
March.
today,
And I
okay.
said, you know, this is my daughter. You know, I'm Bob Mayo's son. And he goes, I
Bobby
recognize-
Mayo.
Yeah. Oh, and you know, my dad had a jingle when he was in college and he was a little bit portly.
Sorry, I can't stay. Oh, my name is Bobby Mayo.
Well, here it is. It just popped into my head today for reasons unbeknownst to me. I'm getting all nostalgic, but it was.
You really are sentimental today. It's great.
Hello, Bob Mayo. How are you today? Hello, Bob Mayo. How much do you weigh? I weigh 250 pounds. What do you think of that? Hey, Bob Mayo. How'd you get so fat?
Great song. Man. I mean,
I think it was his
have you run that
fraternity.
by Springsteen? See if he wants to record it. I mean,
I think you could update the lyrics and
Oh, look at this.
substitute Mike Mayo for Bob Mayo.
Nah, you're right.
No,
you're
I'm
gonna be okay.
Well, I was pushing 250, so and my dad, he also moderated his ways in the end. So there's hope for all of us yet. I am babbling incessantly. Is it time for our next break? Yes, let's take our next break. But before we go there, I got to talk about our fine friends at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. Talk about places to go for Derby Day. You know, if you don't want to make it down to Gulfstream and all the hustle bustle there, Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap in Fort Lauderdale, 525 North Federal Highway. They're having a Derby celebration because
nice, man.
they're all about the bourbon, the booze, the betting, and Kevin and company are going to be having a good old time. They'll have the races on the TVs, and they are also having a Derby handicapping contest. If you pick the trifecta, the top 3 horses in the Derby,
Oh, yeah?
you will have a chance to win $1,000. And I don't know about you, but I could use $1,000, especially if you don't have to wager anything to get it. So I might spend part of my day there and put some entries in the hat. And again, it's at 525 North Federal Highway. They have free parking in the garage right next door. And besides Derby Day, every day is a great time to get some of their great Southern cuisine and classic beautiful cocktails. This Saturday, they will be serving mint juleps. But beyond that, they have the great everyday cocktail menu, things like their pecan-infused bourbon whiskey sours, and all their fine assortment of other drinks. They have like a blackberry lemonade with bourbon. It all works there. And, of course, the food, you can't beat it. Those drop biscuits, chicken and waffles, the shrimp and grits, the jambalaya. It's all good. Live music today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And along with they have the Whiskey Wednesdays, all kinds of other good deals. Batch New Southern Kitchen. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
The Philly cheesesteak pizza is a home run.
There you go.
I think really, really good. Another innovation by the great Brian here. Wicked Cheesesteaks, where we return with more of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox on this Thursday in a moment.
Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me. I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices, served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Joining us, although he just scooted away to adjust the temperature, we're again.
What do you got there, man?
We've got a box.
Mystery box.
I'm not
We
going
were
to open
letting
the
him
box. I'm
unveil it,
going to
I think,
let
right?
Brian
Let
take
Brian
his seat,
unveil this, yes.
and then let's move the ketchup away from the box. Actually, no free advertising for that family. They've got enough money. Oh, that's
You
French's.
don't like the
Okay.
French's people?
No, I didn't.
What do you got against them?
I was faked out.
The yellow
All right.
mustard I could live without.
Put on that headset, Brian. Welcome back to the
Yes,
Lunchbox.
sir.
It's good to see you. We missed you
Yes,
last
sir.
month. You were, in the food laboratory working on things.
Yeah, we could say that. So that'd be nice.
Yeah. Well, what do you got going here?
So
I
big-
have a box. What's
Yes,
in the box?
In the box, basically, I'm from Kennebunkport, Maine, which everybody kind of knows. My wife's from Philly area. So we're kind of having a competition. We're going to do Maine items, only Maine seafood at nighttime.
Nice. Okay.
Clams,
It's like-
scallops, lobsters.
We're gonna call it the Wicked Summer Seafood Festival.
Exactly. Something different to get some people in, but we're only going to make, products that are from Maine.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So basically, when I was a kid, and that being said, the clams are like $17.99, $18.99. So in my family, since we were so tight, the only thing we really could eat was called the clam cake. So people from New England kind of know what a clam cake is. It's a derivative of the clam that everything's left
Can I
over.
open the box?
Yes.
Let you open the box.
So this is
All
our
we gotta do is
first
unveil it.
our first run,
Yes.
Here we go.
Ooh, look at that.
and
Wow.
everything's made by hands.
I
Okay.
see.
And we're gonna have to get in there.
That's the
and
clam cake?
It's called the
This is
clam,
clam
cake.
cake. It's
So like
clam
when I was a
cake.
kid,
It almost looks like a sausage patty.
It
I was
does.
expecting
Exactly.
more of a crab cake kind of
Exactly.
thing, but this is
let's give it a
very
little taste.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Give
I'm gonna
Defo a
cut in
piece.
half.
Get
I'm gonna,
involved there, man.
again, my lips have not touched this fork, so I'm gonna cut a little piece off for Defo.
Oh, thank you, man. Clam
and-
cake here.
Clam
It's called the
cake.
clam cake. So this is
Yeah.
an
You can eat it
affordable.
with your fingers.
Is this a, what
Seafood
sauce?
item.
Is this a tartar sauce or
Tartar
is this a special
sauce.
sauce?
And I'm
Yep.
just going to take a little
You
bite.
guys make all the
And this
sauces
is what
yourself,
you,
right?
Exactly.
right?
How do you assemble it with lightly frying it, or is it in the
This is-
oven?
it's
baked?
fried. It's like panko, fresh Ipswich clams that are ground up,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a different.
Send
you
me
know,
some of that sauce here. There we go.
it's an acquired taste.
What do you
I don't think
man?
it needs. I mean, it tastes good to me. It tastes
Yeah.
like it has some seasoning
Yeah, some
and some
seasoning,
breading
salt.
and some clams chopped up.
It's
kind
different.
of. It reminds me of like a conch fritter,
I like it.
except in smashed form. And I like the essence of the seafood.
The
The
clam.
Ipswich clam is always a good clam.
Clam cake, Mayo. A first here on the lunchbox.
Mm,
What are you
yeah.
talking about? First ever.
I like it. Now you think you're going to do it just with the clam cakes, or maybe throw in a couple of like fried scallops? or
Yeah, we're gonna
shrimp
do.
or-
So basically, what we're gonna do, everything here is fast casual.
Yeah, yeah.
So in Maine, everything comes in this box. That being said, a lobster roll, fries, coleslaw. Same thing is like fries, fried clams, fried scallops, tartar sauce, boom, boom, boom. Everything is super fast casual. So you just get the box, you sit down and eat, throw it in the trash can. No waitress service, no
Wow.
nothing. Fast casual, so you're not,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
just
you're not
eat it.
sitting, you're not here for an hour and a half. And we're just
Yeah.
going to do everything market price, get it in fresh on Thursdays and run it through the weekend.
So Thursday night,
Nice.
Friday night, Saturday night.
Right. And
If
then we're
there's any
thinking about
left Sunday-
doing like Wednesday, 2 1-pound lobsters for a price.
Nice.
So that being said, it's at nighttime. You come in, you get the 2 lobsters.
After 5, or what's the
Yeah,
time?
like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, after 3. Okay,
yeah.
so you
So
can
you
have
get the 2 lobsters.
the early bird.
yeah.
But
So if it's 2 people, it's like $60-$70, but you have no waitress.
Nice.
Boom.
that's
eat,
it.
Eat the
You
food,
gotta
eat
get out.
outside,
So
inside.
yeah, that's for the twin lobsters.
For the twin lobster, we're
You'll
going to
do
try
that-
to do that on Wednesdays.
Do it for like $40 or
Yeah,
something.
$40, $35.
35.
Considering what the price of the lobster is very expensive right now because they had a really rough winter.
Right.
So it's kind of like derivative.
It
upon a
usually
little bit of
drops
time.
come late June, July.
Exactly.
It goes back down so that you'll be able to price
Yeah.
it more
So-
affordably. Market price.
You know, you get your tray, you get
Your
the
favorite
lobster.
words,
It's
Mike
my
Mayo.
favorite
Market
words.
price.
But I like the whole concept of doing some of the fried, call it Friday, FRY day. And you get some of the clam cakes, maybe some fried scallops. Do
Right.
it for $20. I don't know. Not
Exactly.
going to set
we're going to give
pricing.
it a shot, just to get some people in here at night. We're busy during the day. We
Dinner
sell
crowd,
a
okay.
bunch of cheesesteaks and everything. But at the end of the day, there's a pizza place on every corner. You can get a chicken parm on every corner. Can you get fried clams, fried scallops? It's Wicked Cheesesteaks. I'm going back to I was brought up
Your
making
roots,
these
yeah.
items. And then we're going to do another thing that's really popular in Maine. It's called lobster pie.
Nice.
Okay,
All right,
that's
yeah.
It's
interesting.
in a
That sounds
casserole
good.
dish. It's
Lobster
baked
pie.
in the
Darn.
oven.
That
I've
sounds
heard of
freaking
that.
It's
amazing.
very famous.
It's
Like the
good.
Hilltop Steakhouse. It's very
Mhm.
famous.
See, I love that though. I love that. We first of
So
all, we always talk
everything that
about
we can pull off out of a little pizza oven.
yeah, but
You
we
know
always
what
talk about how you're creative here, and we always enjoy that. And you keep growing on that, and it's cool
Well,
to
we
go
just-
back to your
yeah.
roots. Like I bring. Everyone does lobster rolls. Everyone does cheesesteaks. Why not showcase other things from the Northeast?
Hey, I'll tell you that the guy that told me the honest truth is that yes, I am in the bakery business and I'm delivering to like Greek Island. And I tell the Greek guy that's the only Greek guy that I've ever seen really smile really big is the guy at Greek Island. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I go, he goes, hey, we were like a Miami Subs and we struggled and we struggled and we struggled. And then I did the food that I really knew.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And he said, look
And
at the success that I've had.
I think customers can sense what
Yeah,
you
authentic.
connect with, what your
Authentic.
soul,
Right,
where
right.
your roots are.
Right.
And this is your roots.
I was brought up making these things like lobster pie.
And
In Maine, my dad would get a trash bag of lobster bodies for $15. To this day, I still cannot eat a lobster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
What did he do with them?
So in Maine, when the lobsters
He
come
made the
in,
filter
in
fish.
Kenny no, in Maine, when the lobsters come in, they clean them on the docks. They rip the tail.
Yeah.
The claws off.
Yeah,
and they
'cause
throw the
that's-
bodies in a bag.
Oh, geez, that's a lot of flavor.
And then you
still there.
can buy, like when I was a kid, you could buy the whole bag of bodies. He would sit us down at the kitchen table and we had to pick this thing all winter
for
long.
any meat.
And then we would freeze it. And then,
Hey, you know what?
we would freeze it and then we would open May 2nd. in the whole month of May, we never got busy until June 20th. We would serve lobster pie for $8.99. That's the only way we could pay our bills.
And you got the lobster pie by digging through the bodies, and
yeah, we picked through the bodies of the lobster. And then
that's
we would
some
freeze
of the
it.
sweetest meat. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
it's
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, like a crab. You know, a
Exactly.
Maryland blue crab is a lot of work. But
Exactly.
if once you get experienced and proficient at picking
like
the bodies apart,
when we make a lobster roll here, which a lot of people they use like 3 ounces of lobster. In Maine, we use 4 ounces of lobster.
Mhm.
Wow.
And we only make it with salt, pepper, celery salt, mayonnaise on a toasted bun.
So the concept is this: if
Well,
people come in during lunch, they can always get your lobster roll.
We can always get the lobster roll.
But
we could do lobsters if we're not, if
but
we
to-
have them.
Yeah, depending on the crowd. I mean, I know you're a pretty nice guy, amenable guy. Everybody on the Let's Eat group just loves you because they say, came into Wicked, and boy, is he the nicest guy. So, like, if somebody came in on a Friday at 1 o'clock at lunchtime and said, I'm
If we
dying
have
for
it,
a clam cake.
Yeah, we have it. We're gonna make it.
Okay.
We're gonna get it in fresh from
Nice.
the vendors.
Yep.
The lobster we're gonna do on Wednesday, the 1 pound lobsters, whatever price that it comes up. Everything is market price. We're gonna do a chalkboard special.
Are you going to start that June 1st or when?
this
are you,
coming Wednesday?
this
We're gonna
coming
do-
Wednesday.
Okay.
We're
Do a
already
lobster.
here. That's
Yeah.
great. And again, Wicked Cheesesteak is now your home for Wicked
It
seafood.
sounds crazy, but
No, it
But
doesn't
it
sound
doesn't, though.
crazy
That's the
because
thing.
you have Wicked in the title. You've done the lobster rolls and you've had
Right.
the lobster mac and cheese. We've had a lot of enjoyed.
we're just
a
trying
lot
to
of
get
that
people
product.
here at nighttime. You know, if
Yeah,
we can
and
get
I think
15 or
yourself.
20 people.
I
a
think
night.
it's smart because look, there's a couple of established places that are known for their New England
Mhm.
style fried seafood. Kelly's Landing. We're not
We're not
naive,
gonna go there.
but
yeah.
you're on the other side
exactly.
of town. Bowie One was a restaurant that has come and gone. That
Mhm.
I gotta say it as a critic, it wasn't very good.
Right.
And so they are no longer with us. But I think you are sensing something, an opportunity
Well,
to
you know,
cash
like
in.
I said, you know, like we're doing the cheesesteaks, the pizza, the wings, but you know, to be in the pizza business is a tough business. You know, people have been eating the same
takes a lot of
pizza.
dough to make
Yeah,
some
man.
dough.
I mean, we
Pizza,
sell
there you
some
go.
pizzas, but
There you
I just want to try to get some people in here, do a good job, run it, and then if it runs out, we start it all over again next week.
And let
You
me
know what
tell
I
you, this clam cake with a little bit of the tartar sauce that just
good.
gives it that.
Yeah,
little
Very
it's
extra
nice.
fantastic.
zest.
I think it's
Very
fantastic.
nice.
Is this a house-made tartar or using a
Yes,
commercial?
my wife made it. Yes.
That's incredible.
They
And
make all their
that's
own
the
sauces.
little
It's crazy here.
touch that
Right.
it puts it over the top flavor-wise.
So basically, we just have the pizza oven. So we're just going to derive everything on the menu that is seafood is from Maine. So if we make a crab cake, it's Maine crab.
Mhm.
Nice.
If we have steamers, they're Maine steamers. We have mussels, they're Maine mussels. We're gonna try to do the lobster pie like through the weekend, like maybe make a bunch of them, and then we cook them right in the pizza oven. The baked scallops.
I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world to use a Massachusetts product. They got some scallops and clams that are good. But we'll keep that on the QT.
He may have a good main vendor, is what I presume.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I mean, I'm just
He knows the guy.
But we're not doing swordfish. We're not doing fish.
Right.
We're just doing like a few items that are.
How about
gonna try to-
haddock?
Haddock is hard to get. Actually,
That's
It
one of
seems
those
like-
things that are burned in my brain from being in
Haddock
Boston
is-
for
yeah,
school.
yeah.
Haddock. You want some haddock or
I
cod?
think they
Codfish is
outfished.
big. Big.
I
Friday.
think they really outfished the haddock. I haven't seen haddock.
Haddock.
around
Ever
too
catch
much.
codfish? I've gone fishing for codfish.
I've never.
It's
caught a
literally
cod.
like pulling an anchor off the pond. They don't do anything. It's just like a
They just sit
giant
there like a
limp
lump.
Dead
weed.
weight.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah.
Is that like your first? No,
You're
I'm
out
not going to make any
choppy,
ex-wife jokes. I'll just leave that alone.
Choppy seas, very choppy seas.
Well, Brian,
Oh, thank you very
Commend
much.
you on
Thank you,
We'd
Brian.
like
Great
to thank
job,
everybody
man.
for the support.
It's-
Everybody's
You're the
helped us
best.
out a lot. You know what I
Great
mean?
guy over here.
It's
Everybody
great.
to
says
be
doing
back.
good.
I'm, trying to control myself. That cheesesteak
You've been good.
pizza
Been
with
pretty
a
good,
little
yeah.
bit of the
No, pretty
whiz.
good, yeah.
Excellent. Oh, I meant to ask you.
You
So the
barely
wings,
grazed those wings.
are they fried or lightly fried and
We
baked? or?
marinate them for a couple days and then
Yep.
we bake them and then we fry them off after.
Okay,
that.
Oh,
so
nice.
but it seems like a very light,
Yep,
gentle
yep.
fry at the end.
Right,
That's what I
right.
detected. I
Yeah.
like a baked wing.
Exactly.
Some people don't
Want
like
a little
it
crisp, but this does
because
that.
it makes the meat nice and tender on the
Yep.
inside, but then you dunk it in the fryer just for that little crisp on the outside. Perfect technique.
All right,
Yeah.
great.
Perfect
Well,
product.
you guys, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
Really
much.
good.
He's
So
got to
next
go back
week
to
we'll
work.
have the
He's had enough
lobsters.
of you.
Wednesday,
He's had enough of
Wednesday,
you already.
Wednesday.
It's like, let me out of.
That's happened to many people through the years.
Oh, you got
Uh,
people standing there. They're looking
I
around.
know. And it's like, come on,
Like, hey,
it,
Brian,
went
you're supposed to be
went
this great guy.
All right, that's it. Hey, we got to take our last break. Before we do, I got to put in a couple of good words. First of all, Casa Calabria, we welcome
Yes,
aboard
welcome
as
to
a
the
new
family.
sponsor.
Wow.
And as I, sung his praises when we were in there last week, but
Casa D'Angelo.
Casa
We say
D'Angelo.
goodbye
Yeah.
to Casa Calabria and say hello
Oh,
to Casa D'Angelo.
Did I say Casa
You
Calabria?
did, but we love Casa Calabria.
Well,
and
we
now
love
we
them
love
all.
Casa
There's a
D'Angelo.
lot of good places, but
Yes.
Casa D'Angelo, and I'm
Yes.
a creature of habit, but Casa
Yes.
D'Angelo, Angelo Ilia is renowned. He's legendary,
Yep.
and his 3 Casa D'Angelos, I mean, they are at the pinnacle of what you want from fine dining, and just exquisite service, the best ingredients, seasonal specials. Go into Casa D'Angelo, 3
Yes.
locations. There's one in Aventura, real close to Gulfstream Park. So if you're going to have a day at the races and you hit the trifecta on Saturday,
Might
then
be a great place to go. Never mind Monero's. That's been closed for years.
yeah, and then there's of course the flagship 1201 North Federal Highway here in Fort Lauderdale, and then the one in Boca Raton on East Palmetto Park Road. Casa D'Angelo is the place for you and me. And then again, J&C Oyster, we got to sing praises. And again, you see, and I'm on a seafood bent because
You've
if
been
you
good
want to
lately, yeah.
kind of
No, you've
take
been good.
care of yourself,
Yes, summer's here.
there is nothing better than
Almost.
seafood, especially in the summertime. And
Right.
J&C Oyster, they've got some beautiful fresh raw oysters. They got beautiful grilled oysters. They have various crab dishes, and it's all really refined, creative dishes in a also comfortable setting. 2035 Harrison Street in Hollywood downtown. We're going to be there next Wednesday for their happy hour. They have daily happy hours starting at 5:00. They're open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner only at this point. And J&C Oyster, go in there, tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we're coming back. More Wicked Cheesesteaks. Great stuff today. Very innovative. I love the whole new clam pie concept here. And that's going to be great with seafood available at ridiculously low prices right here at Wicked Cheesesteaks. We're going to come back and wrap up today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And then a special, I mean, you talk about heavy horse racing edition coming up tomorrow with Mayo's
Sir.
Oaks Derby
Sorry,
Double being
Joanne.
released. And we'll
And
be
not
back
into
in a
the
moment.
horses. Tomorrow's show. From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. A sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox. Defo and Sarni are talking real estate. That's
Yeah, look
always
at that.
Sonny's
scary day.
looking at maybe a new place, man. He could be my neighbor pretty soon.
Oh, that's
nice.
Is
Yeah.
that something? He's going to come over and say, "How come you're not watching the
Oh,
women's
no,
shuffleboard?"
I love Sonny because I just bust right back on him.
It's going to make you watch the women's volleyball
You know,
championship.
it's too late for me to change my viewing habits, but I do get a kick out of writing him about all of the stuff that he's into. Which there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you're a sports fan, you're a sports fan. I don't care what you're a fan of. It's good. But if you're a Formula One fan, you really have to question the value of your life. I mean, at that point, you're really rooting for such nothingness.
Well, at this point, we can't root for the Heat anymore. We got to
That's
stick
done.
a fork in them, as figured. That was
That one was
not a
That's a
pretty
foregone
finish. But
conclusion.
again, there's
the deuce
you,
there.
you don't want to use the injury excuse, but come on, be
No,
real.
they were
You
missing
can't. You have
5
no
rotation
shot.
guys.
Yeah.
5.
No shot. No shot. But
If you would have said Celtics in 5, the only debate would have been Celtics in 4.
Right.
And going into
And
the
it
series.
ended
Yeah,
up-
honestly. And
again,
they
they-
take one.
if the Heat fans were able, just think of this: you could be a Heat fan and bet the money line every game, and you'd still have come out ahead in that.
You would have been
series.
ahead by a lot
Because
yeah.
that plus
I think it was
800
8-1,
yeah,
wins
yeah.
in
Insane.
game 2
Yep.
got you a profit. So
Here's a
the
question
ROI is
for you,
good.
though. The spread was similar. It was like 14, 15 points. So how come the money in line was only plus 650 last night? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's
These
weird.
are vagaries that are beyond
Yeah.
my degenerate capabilities. So, hey, before we go today, and first of all, it's been surprisingly calm on the Let's Eat group lately. There hasn't been a lot of
That's
Seen a lot of
bitching
positive
and
stuff. I've
moaning.
seen a
That's
lot of
because of the
positive stuff.
administration. It's straightened everybody out.
I think we're trying.
You got them in the spirit of what you
You've
wanted this thing to
cultivated
be.
the
What I-
clientele.
what
A
I have-
sharing of ideas and enlightenment.
What I have noticed, I'm not a big astrology guy, but I do notice that when there is a full moon, things do get crazy.
Peaceful. Yeah.
No,
No, not peaceful. Full moon
I'm very
equals
impacted
crazy.
by the full moon. I'm a moon child.
We're
so.
we're now in that like half moon phase,
Yes.
so that's okay. People have been
Thing was full though.
they've been
just the other day.
behaving. So
Yeah.
Nice.
keep up the good work, you Let's Eaters. And a couple of words before we say goodbye for today. Tomorrow, again, big day at Gulfstream Park. Joe Beja at 10 Palms. We're getting ready for a big weekend of racing. Have you looked at the card? The Saturday card is outstanding at Churchill Downs. And even Gulfstream's card, they have 2 stakes races on the day on Saturday. Also big fields. It's going to be just like kids in a
I am
candy
waiting
store.
for you to come through with the form.
I just need more candy.
I hope you get there early tomorrow
I
because
need
a
more
lot of people
candy.
going to be grabbing them.
That's
yeah.
going to be great. Okay. Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine. Of
yeah,
course,
they
they
kicked
are
off the Burger Month yesterday.
very successful
fun, man.
opener. Hundreds of people came out to Lauderdale and were able to find it, even
Yes.
though it is kind of nestled there in the woods there near the port and the airport. But that was just the start of 954 Burger Month. Go online to 954burgermonth.com or vlfoodwine.com to get the full rundown. Most of the events you won't need a ticket, and Burger Beast will be there and
Yeah, all over
greeting
the place.
people.
The
and
Beast is
kinda-
like a greeter, like he's Joe Louis.
He's like
at the
highly involved
casino.
in these stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great.
and then
He'll
the
talk to people.
the
too.
one ticket
nicer to me.
event, and he's going to have events that's going to be I guess next Wednesday on the 8th at that
Yes.
North South Grill in Pembroke Pines, another one at this burger food truck place that's not a food truck, very confusing, but up in
Yes.
Wilton Manors. That's going to be on the I forget the 15th.
Yes.
And then Sunday the 19th, a ticketed event at Gilbert.
So let me ask you: do
17th
I
Street
need a
Grill.
ticket?
You might need 2 tickets.
Do
Because
I
I
need
wanna-
to- all of a sudden he's Mr. Big.
Well,
like
because
he's
I want to
Mayo.
go for the show.
He's turned into a monster.
Well,
turned into
because
something.
Mayo can't go; it's his daughter's graduation. So I think
Just-
we should represent. We love Gilbert. We
Yeah.
love Burger
Yeah.
Beast.
I think
But I don't know.
Lenore-
But am I buying a ticket?
Lenore will
Buying a
hook you
ticket.
up.
that
I mean,
would
I
be a
will, I
hard time.
guess.
as long as you take some video, put it up on the
Yeah, we'll do a whole
reels,
thing.
and we're
I'll
all
bring
good.
equipment. I'll sit down with Burger Beast and do a little bit. I don't
But
care.
for those of you out there, it's going to be a great time on the 19th. I'm going to miss it because of my daughter's high school graduation. But noon, Sunday the 19th, various different burgers will be featured along with some drinks, and it's going to be a fun time. It's all part of the 954 Burger Month festivities all month long. 954burgermonth.com. And last but
it is
not
a Thursday,
least,
so
this show was presented by Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market in
You're
Hollywood.
amazing, man. You're like a walking billboard. You're like
I
a
am.
NASCAR guy.
I am a NASCAR. just send me around in circles. But I should
How
start
about
wearing.
Mayo transitioning from one live spot into
He's
another?
done 3,
man?
I think, in the
wow,
last
wow.
10
Yeah, we're filling
Well,
up
yeah, well, I'm
fast.
talking about it.
I do need. I think I should get
We
like the
should just
NASCAR
wear-
patches. I
You
need a
you
shirt
to wear
that just
a
has
chef's outfit. Though.
Delaware,
Yeah,
Tropical
Just have it all over the
Acres,
place.
Casa de Angelo. You know,
Cafe
just,
Seville.
I'll have, and then I'll change my
Shenanigans.
ball cap every 30 seconds.
Batch Southern
Change.
Kitchen. Yeah.
So yeah, Delaware again.
The weekend's
great
coming.
place to
The
go for
weather's
the
been great.
weekend
Do
if
some
you're
grilling.
entertaining guests, and of course with Mother's Day coming up. And if you don't
Yeah,
want to
Mother's
go
Day,
out to
July
dinner,
4th, all of this stuff.
all kinds of great
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Of course, they got
Memorial Day.
the sausages of all kinds.
Yep.
They've got chicken, poultry products that Defo is still raving about.
Yeah, great job.
that chicken.
A giant difference. It really was amazing.
You can taste the difference.
You can taste it.
It's
I mean,
cleaner,
it was
it's
by
quality.
far like 1,000% better.
No
Yeah.
added hormones, no added antibiotics. It is premium products. Of course, they got great steaks, and the seafood is the star of the show. No more stone crabs, unfortunately, but you do have a full selection of local seafood. Those Key West pink shrimp are beautiful. They have crabs. They have lobsters. Well, they have also fish that can't be beat. The branzino, which is from the Mediterranean, and all the local fish, the snappers and the
Your new
groupers.
favorite, the salmon, man.
Yeah,
is
salmon is
top-notch
good.
there. Yeah.
All good. Go in 4191 North State Road 7. Open 7 days. Tell them the lunchbox sent you. All right, that's going to wrap
That's
it
it.
up.
All right.
We'll do
All right,
it.
We're
kiddo,
done.
You got to
We
deliver
thank
the line.
Brian.
You got to deliver the line.
And again, we're going to see you at Gulfstream tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll be handing out winners galore.
Oaks
Until
Day's a
then,
great day.
enjoy every clam cake, enjoy every pizza, and enjoy every sandwich.